One of Poland's coalition government's primary efforts since taking over in December has been to restore the rule of law in Poland. The European Union's views of Poland's rule of law status is seen in a positive light given the change of government and considers the country close to ready to be withdrawn from the Article 7 procedure. We now bring to the studio Michał Wawrykiewicz, European Parliament candidate from the Civic Coalition.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, regarding Article 7 and the procedure regarding Poland, where are we in regards to the actual status? Has this procedure been closed? Because there have been several meetings, and every single meeting seems to bring us ever so much more closer to closing the procedure, but are we there yet?
Finally, we are at the end of this procedure after 6.5 years of a very embarrassing chapter in Polish history. Let's remind that that was the first time in the European Union history when this procedure was triggered against Poland and then against Hungary. Now we are close to the end of this procedure because according to what the European Commission said, there are no strategic systemic threats for the rule of law in Poland. So the recommendation of the European Commission is to close the procedure, and now the Council decided to finally stop this procedure. So we are at the end of this procedure.
Is unanimity? Yeah, there it goes again.
Unanimous.
Is the decision to stop Article 7 needed by unanimous decision?
No. But 26 countries voted to stop this procedure, apart from Hungary.
Well, right, and that's why I ask. So, okay, so Adam Bodnar is he's in Hungary today, visiting there. Of course, we all know that Hungary has a lot of challenges when it comes to rule of law. So, as far as you know, what exactly is Mr. Bodnar doing in Hungary?
Well, he's referring Polish challenges, both political and legal challenges, when it comes to restoration of the rule of law in Poland. And as far as I heard, he said it's a very unique process. Because it is, in fact, it's a very difficult process after 8 years of permanent violation and destruction of the rule of law system. So we have a roadmap which was written by European tribunals, both Luxembourg and Strasbourg. We have dozens of verdicts of both these tribunals, and they described what we have to do to restore the rule of law in Poland. It is not easy because we still have President Duda, who was the participant in this process of destruction of the rule of law in Poland. So he announces that he is going to veto all the legislations which are going to be passed by Parliament. And so we are in a very difficult position as a country, and the government, of course, is in a difficult position. That was what Adam Bodnar referred today in Budapest. And Budapest is a very symbolic place to refer the restoration of the rule of law, because this is back in 2023. We had two black characters in the map of Europe, that was Poland and Hungary. Right now, Poland is in a completely different position because we have the democratic coalition, which is governing our country and which is trying to restore the rule of law. But Hungary is still in this dark chapter of their history.
I wanted to ask, because Adam Bodnar presented a plan, and obviously the EU views Poland in a completely different light at the moment when it comes to the rule of law. But what changes exactly have been implemented, and what changes will be implemented? Because I understand that the EU will still be monitoring Poland very closely when it comes to this.
Yes. First fundamental change in Poland is that the repressions against Polish judges and prosecutors, those independent who were bravely fighting for the rule of law in Poland, stopped, actually. We do not have disciplinary proceedings right now. Disciplinary clerks, these ad hoc clerks, which were
But can you give us some examples of these repressions?
Well, yeah. I think we're talking about the disciplinary chamber, correct?
Yeah, not only disciplinary chamber, because we do not have disciplinary chamber right now. It was liquidated back in 2022. But we still had dozens of disciplinary proceedings. I can give you an example. I was one of the co-founders of Justice Defense Committee. That was the platform of cooperation of 13 Polish NGOs and Association of Judges, lawyers. And we were defending Polish judges against those charges, both disciplinary and criminal charges, sometimes, like Igor Tuleya was the best example of criminal charges. So we do not have these repressions right now. That is the fundamental change. Then Poland joined the European Prosecutor Office. That is also a very important step. Then we have the new legislation in the Parliament regarding the National Judiciary Council. It is not finally passed by Parliament. It is after Senate, but it waits for what the lower chamber of the Parliament will say, and then probably the signature of the President. He can veto this legislation. Then we have a package of the new legislation regarding the Constitutional Court in Poland. And then we have a couple of other legislations which are going to be passed in a near future.
Right, but as far as the changes are concerned, it could take some time, right?
Definitely.
Because President Duda can veto each legislative initiative, and those legislative initiatives are the only way to revert the reforms to the judiciary, correct? Exactly,
exactly. We need the presidential signature, definitely, to pass the legislation, and we need the legislation to revert all of these violations in the rule of law and to implement all of the judgments of the European courts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Michał Wawrykiewicz, European Parliament candidate from the Civic Coalition. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.